Hey there, it's EnderVerse. We're back again with RPG mods. This time it's the third episode of our series. As usual, we are doing 20 mods. Each one roleplays a unique character, but you can still combine them all for one big RPG mod pack. Now without any further ado, let's dive into the video. This mod adds plenty of dragons from the How to Train Your Dragon series. The implementation here was quite clever. You first need to find the merchant hooligan, who will then sell you the book of dragons as well as maps leading to specific species. The book does what it says, explains the nature of any dragon you manage to find, and it is quite essential as it lists what type of food they like as well as their specific strengths. Taming the dragon will take some patience. Hasty actions will result in the dragon attacking you and potentially killing you. Once tamed, you won't have enough of these reptiles. The flying controls are so fun, you could even do a barrel roll, and they also have a very strong primary attack as well as a secondary attack that gets unlocked over time. Every dragon here requires specific foods to be tamed and has a perk of its own, either being chunky, fast or furious. I really love this mod. The quality is also top notch. Definitely worth using if you want to roleplay How to Train Your Dragon on Minecraft. Marvelous Menagerie and Odd Organisms used to be add-ons for the Unusual Prehistory mod. Recently though, the author merged the two add-ons into one independent mod. But that's not all. Since it's now a full mod, the author developed a fun minigame for excavating the fossils and obtaining the remains of the prehistoric creatures. There is also a fictional twist, as you will need to perform magical rituals to summon the mobs, and there's this hostile monster that is clearly not an actual prehistoric animal. This is a refreshing experience. I'd only wish for the author to develop an add-on that makes the mobs spawn naturally on the world. I saw many people wanting that on my prehistoric mods video. This next mod adds Nether trial chambers to the game. The builder did an immaculate job with the tiny details and symbols. As you will see skull banners, lava pits everywhere, and my favorite, a tilting cross in one of the rooms. The mobs here are brutal. They are vanilla based, but are horrible. You have baby cave spiders, fire breeze mobs, and more. Also, note that they often come in great numbers and are a part of the trial spawner, so you get some nice rewards upon victory. This mod came from the same author behind the Dungeons Arise mod, and you could easily tell from those brutal mobs. Great project, and good luck. Up next we have Wings of Fire. This mod allows you to tame and ride a phoenix. The process is very straightforward. You obtain the egg, usually found on chests. You craft an inferno cradle, light it up with magma cream, put the egg there, and wait for 15 minutes. Based on the egg variant you've collected, you will get one of the 6 variants of the phoenix. You can also bend your phoenix with this lantern. This way you can use it at last minute to save you from fall damage and to also travel a lot faster. This phoenix was forked from a mod named Luminous, but the difference here is that the phoenix isn't a boss and can now be tamed and ridden. My suggestion for the author is to enhance the animations. Making them more interactive and diversified will do wonders for the quality of this mod. They may also add a fire attack or a passive healing effect to the phoenix. This way it's more useful to tame, but apart from that, I really like it. Another medieval fantasy mod is just orcs. As the name implies, this mod adds a bunch of orcs with different variants as well as different settlements. The smallest settlement here is the camp, while the largest is the town. Killing these orcs will give you either their hair, fat, or orc chop. Each one of these items is useful in one way or another. And you can also increase the loot quantity through using a gold axe for combat. This is an excellent mod for simulating a medieval fantasy experience, as orcs are a prominent race in any fictional story. Speaking of the medieval theme, Knights and Heraldry does just that, only realistically this time around. The mod is all about medieval combat. The first thing I noticed were the armors. The author didn't just add new sets, but a completely new system for it. Now you can wear your raw clothes, then put on the metallic armor pieces on top as trinkets. Swordsmanship has also changed. You can now parry attacks, and when using long weapons, the reach is extremely realistic. You deal no damage up close. Instead, you'll have to step back and attack from a distance. As frustrating as it may sound, these equipment are only obtainable through trading with the weaponsmith. But think about it, the type of villagers will now have more uses. You could just build this weapon store and fill it up with master weaponsmiths. If you've been looking for a medieval combat mod, I can't think of a more thorough mod to install. The one thing I would suggest is to remove the visual abstraction when wearing full helmets. It's very unnecessary. Novum's altitude, although entirely visual, can make for a good addition to any space exploration mod pack. As you can see, instead of turning into a blank void, the skies will now be realistic, showcasing the surface of the Earth. The sun will also look different as you leave the atmosphere. This mod will work nicely if you are playing an aviator or a space exploration mod pack. Both make for an excellent RPG gameplay. Monster Expansion is an excellent mod if you'd like to roleplay a Monster Hunter mod pack. The quality of these monsters is impressive, visually with their awesome accurate models and beautiful animations, and functionally as they perform many different attacks relating to their nature and can inflict all sorts of new effects on you. What struck me about this mod is how you can dismember the monsters. Tails, fins and other body parts can be severed, which will limit the monster's abilities and weaken them tremendously. You also get to craft incredibly powerful gear, often on dedicated crafting tables with many grids. This is one of the best options if you've been wanting to roleplay the Monster Hunter game on Minecraft. The only problem I have with it is the smoke effect and how it glitches the visuals. I hope that the author looks into it. Atmos is a mod recreating the Ultra Kill game on Minecraft. The whole project is actually a dedicated mod pack, and the experience here is by no means survival friendly. Nonetheless, this is an experience that you will enjoy. There will be lots of enemies to shoot down, and what makes the fight enjoyable is how you can maneuver and double jump, as well as throwing hand grenades and using 2 types of ammunitions. As you progress, you'll be fighting full-blown bosses. The experience remains constant as you will have to stay on the move and shoot the boss whenever you have the chance. I really like this mod. Although it can't be integrated into mod packs, it's an experience worth your time, my friend. After 3 years, the Jurassic Reborn mod was finally ported over to 1.20.1, allowing it to be compatible with modern mod packs. What sets this mod apart is the special interactions the dinosaurs have with each other. Based on their nature, they could be seen grazing around or eating one another. The animations and models are also way ahead of their time, as the mobs move very fluently and their textures are sharp and aesthetic. With this mod updated, you can enjoy role-playing the Jurassic Park movie on 1.20.1, where you must resurrect the dinosaurs and create your own Jurassic Park, my friend. Next up we have Fallout Wastelands, and I guess the name described the mod pretty well right there. The project added a new dimension representing the Wastelands, and is accessible through a portal. In my opinion, this is a better way of integrating said universe in your game without necessarily overwriting any content you already have. Anyways, this place contains peaceful mobs such as Brahmins, a very nutritious food source, as well as aggressive mobs such as raiders, which will show you no mercy, so make sure you have some big iron on your hip. Mobs aside, there are also power armors for near invincibility, personal armors for extra protection, a Pip-Boy, as well as many blocks to build your own settlement just like in Fallout 4. I like this mod. It's portraying one of my favorite RPG games. However, I have to suggest that the author add the more stronger monsters such as Deathclaws, super mutants and the like. And in keeping with that, I recommend the mobs to have better animations and models, and that will do it. Migamigos adds a handful of human companions you can recruit through feeding them their favorite food. Recruiting these amigos is an incredible investment. They can execute magic attacks and kill any mob. Even a warden can't stand them for long. And to top it off, each one of them can level up over time, and you can also give them armors, pushing their strength and endurance even more. Having companions is at the core of many RPG titles. I would only recommend for the author to make them summonable. This way it allows for better mobility. Up next we have Elden Ring Nightreign gear. This mod represents the classes from said DLC as armors on Minecraft. The author has perfected the designs, the tiny details and 3D modelings are on point, and the style amongst all sets is coherent. Some of these armors are even stronger than the Netherite set, and you can craft them by smithing diamond armors with runes you find throughout the world, making them fairly simple to make. Last year's Mods of the Year featured a well-deserved winner called Valley and Sky. It also creates Elden Ring, but is more mob focused. You can mix the two to get a closer experience to said RPG title. Just keep in mind, Valley and Sky isn't public yet. It can only be found on the author's Discord. The only thing I would suggest for the author is to add the abilities from the DLC. Right now, the armors only offer nothing beyond their stats and look. In most RPG games, there's a damage indicator that points to the aggressor's damaging you. This mod will add that damage indicator to Minecraft. Apart from its RPG element, I see this mod being useful for all types of players, modded or vanilla. Thalassophobia adds a tremendous amount of creatures to the sea. Before you even dive deep, you can see these creatures walking around the surface. You'll also find different kinds of creatures based on the depth and the temperature of the ocean. Some found on shallow waters, others on warm oceans, and a few are found very deep down on cold oceans. There's also this prehistoric creature you can tame and ride, making for easier exploration. Of course, the mod's name isn't just for decoration. There are some pretty terrifying ocean monsters, ranging from fairly large aggressive mobs to full-blown bosses that can one-shoot you. Mobs aside, you also get to obtain and craft new items, all with the purpose of improving your ocean exploration. So killing these mobs will yield great value. I tried the mod a little over a year ago. It only had 3 mobs back in the day, so it's baffling to see just how much the author expanded upon it ever since. However, I have to suggest for the author to add new biomes with abnormally deep oceans. This would result in a memorable RPG experience. Up next we have NeEPMeat. This is an underdog technology mod. Amongst many more, the mod added appliances like toilets, as well as new types of levers which deactivate automatically. There are also different kinds of sci-fi weapons. Some are even customizable like staffs. You could even create a flying vehicle which will drive anywhere. Of course, what I mentioned is merely a fraction of what this mod actually offers. If you have time, you can install the mod and see just how deep it goes. Mebahel's Creatures Draugr Invasion is a mod that adds the skeleton enemy race from Skyrim. You can find those monsters on 2 different structures, a labyrinth and a tower, though you can also find infernal types of Draugrs on the Nether too. The Draugrs are very well designed. Apart from their animations and models, they have unique attacks to use based on their nature. There's even a Draugr Lord. He's quite powerful with his wings, and he wears full armor too, meaning he will be a tough and dangerous boss to fight. I shamefully admit I never tried Skyrim before. I played Tainted Grail, which is a bit similar, but never the Skyrim. But if I have to make a comment here, it would be purely from my experience as a modder, and I would say the author did an excellent job. The attacks and the loot you get all makes for a nice RPG element you'd want to have on your mod pack, my friend. Legionary is a mod inspired by the game Minecraft Legends. As floppy as the original title, this mod is pretty decent. The mod added a Legionary arena in the middle of the Nether. Inside it you can find a petrified Unbreakable. To undo his petrification and begin battle, you will have to hit him with a netherite pickaxe. He will then activate and begin fighting you. This big boss features many explosive attacks. Closing the distance is also near impossible here. Nearing death, he undergoes another phase, becoming angry and more aggressive. Killing this big boss grants you a thermal stone, basically a flint and steel item with infinite durability. The author also added new items called the Forgotten Bones, which will help you craft this new weapon. It's not that remarkable, but has higher knockback points. This mod's quality is excellent, especially the boss. His textures and animations are gratifying, and the sound design is just fabulous here. Best of luck for the author, and I wonder if they're planning to add more content from said game. I'd be happy to try it again. Up next we have the Zenith Sword. As the name applies, this mod adds the Zenith Sword from Terraria. This weapon is very expensive to craft, but is extremely overpowered. No mob can survive this weapon, and its reach and lack of cooldown makes it capable of handling tens, if not hundreds of mobs at once. Obviously, this calamity shouldn't be allowed on any server. It's simply a nuclear option. I wish the author would work on nerfing it a little bit. Finishing off a warden in 2 seconds is a level of power no player should have. And finally we have Kismet. This is a sci-fi mod adding 3 types of electronic enemies to defeat. The fights here are modest. The bites can electrocute you, while the kilobyte launches itself at you. And finally the megabyte. This mod remains passive even if you attack it. Killing these mobs will allow you to chrome up, as in, you can eat these synthetic organs and become a cyberpunk. This upgrade will allow you to electrocute mobs, and it will also enhance your efficiency greatly. However, it comes at the cost of being dependent on electricity to function, as you will have to eat batteries every time your power levels go down. This mod is a prominent RPG element, as it is quite close to Cyberpunk 2077, an excellent and immersive RPG title. Thanks for watching. I highly recommend you watch the second and the first episode, especially the first one, as it featured some unbelievably good RPG experiences. Subscribe and turn on the bell if you want to keep track of my modding series. Now I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.